Hello once again. This is I guess this is the part 2 of the new sandbox update or whatever, because I don't really want to put the video a little bit too long for both of them. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm just gonna let you guys know that I have actually progressed into sandbox already a little bit, so I guess I can kind of show you what my progress is. There is no chat today because my internet sucks ass. But anyways, so just gonna show you guys a little bit. I did do like one round, like I did like 2 cycles yesterday. Today I did just like 1 round as well. So I haven't really done like the second boss again, you know, the hard version, which is kind of like stupid as well. So that's what I technically did. I did do a little bit of the missions here and there. So I kind of got some of the book upgrades, which is pretty freaking nice, especially like the main one. The main one I think everyone should at least try to get is the fact that this thing, I know it's in Japanese, I'm sorry, but this is the one where it gives you faster progress in the sandbox. And this is just fucking amazing because it literally just gives you actual one thing. Because usually in the sandbox, each of these bar, whenever you do it, you only get like half of a bar. So, but if you have like MacFest like this right now, it actually gives you another half. So if you have the upgrade in that said guidebook, right, which actually requires you to kill all of the new route bosses, as in like all of these bosses, as in you have to kill the non-pussy one. I mean the harder version. So basically you have to kill one round first. You have to kill it once and then the harder version will come out, right? So you have to kill the harder one once on all 4 of them. So once you kill all 4 of them, you will unlock that thing. So in other words, once you get that guidebook unlocked, right, what essentially happens is that you'll be earning 1.5 right now with the MacFest bonus buff. So usually if you do not have the MacFest up, you only get 1 bar now, which is pretty fucking awesome. So in other words, like say for example like this 3 bar boss in not really a boss but like a node, a normal monster node like this, you need to do twice in order for you to fill it up. You need to only do it twice in like MacFest like this. Whenever they give you like the extra shit in Arcarum Sandbox. It's fucking amazing actually. So it's like, it allows you to progress so much faster. So like there's a lot of other shit that's actually really cool they added in that really makes your sandbox experience so much better. Like so much easier as well too. So like the, you know what? Okay, you know what? Just for the sake of the student, just to make things easier, I'll switch it to English, okay? Oh god. Alright, I'll switch it to English just for you, chat, okay? Or whoever is watching this video. Please load. Holy fuck, dude. See, this is why I don't really play GBF that much. It's just, it takes fucking forever to load, okay? It pisses me off. Alright, so the 4 new books they actually provide, which is at the end here, is fucking amazing because what they give is that, oh my god, please load, dude. Come on, don't fail me now. Okay, thank you. Okay, so they have these 4 books here, which is really freaking insane. So to give you like what they actually are, just to make things simple, this first one you get from the NVIDIA one, yeah, the top left one. So what this does is that, in short, this gives you a lot of supplemental skill damage supplemental. What this essentially is kind of like giving you a free 2 agonized weapons in your grid, which is fucking crazy actually. Like you get a lot of supplemental of this, man. Like seriously, like look at this shit. 200k, man. Fuck me, right? It's so good. Yeah, you do get extra skill cap as well, but the most important one is just really this one. This is so freaking good. Okay, so that's the first one. And then the second one, which is the top right one, you get the supplemental, the charge attack supplemental for CA damage. Excuse me. Or Ogi, whichever. And which is also really fucking good, by the way. And then the third one is obviously, I would say, is the one of the massive game changer for Sandbox, because what it does is that it gives you freaking a free 50% initial gauge. In other words, you have like a much stronger so-called Long Dong or Huan Long summon equipped at the moment. So in other words, you can actually just OTK with every single character in your party if you just put in Huan Long in your set main summon, or whichever summon that actually gives you meter at the beginning. Say like, for example, like for other elements, you know, like Earth is like Tsuchinoko, Dark is like Zenitra, for example. You know, those kind of summons, right? If you have them equipped, and then if you are using this book, you're essentially able to just have everyone at 100 meters. So you have like an assault time in Sandbox. So which is fucking awesome, right? You do also get like extra up to 20% gauge charge bar gain or whatever, which is fucking amazing. But the real focus is just really this one. It just makes it so much easier, like seriously. So essentially the last one, which is kind of nice, but I think it's more towards if you are, I guess you're one of the weaker side, if you have like not really good sustain, if you want to full auto the harder one, the hard version, the non-pussy version. I honestly I do not know what to call it, because they call it the non-P type, right? The weaker one, they call it the P type, right? So I don't know what else to call it. So yeah, so this one is kind of okay, I guess, in that sense, just because that you are, why the hell did I change it to that? But it gives you the extra healing cap, like lots of healing cap, if I recall correctly. Yeah, you get up to like 20% as well, healing specs, and then you get debuff resistance, so you just don't get debuff that often. And then you also get to this, which is honestly, to me, is kind of like whatever, because it's like, you see this, right? This should only apply to green border skills, right? And full auto doesn't really use them, do they? So it's kind of like, it's very, very sus, right? So it's like, to me this one is kind of like whatever. I don't really care about it too much, so I don't really bother with it at all. So that's why I'm only using this. So it's like, if you want, I feel like one of the better ones, obviously, you just use the new ones. Like easily, like one of the best books is just use this tree, or the other one. Like if you want to make your life easier, I still use this one. The one that literally just gives you permanent 20% echo and some enmity. So yeah, this one is actually really good because you also get mirror. This one actually saves me in one of the second bosses. I think it was Granny, I think. Because the stronger version of Granny, it does like one fucking super massive single target nuke or whatever. And this mirror actually saved me without realizing, because that was like my first time doing it. And I heard like it does like 100k damage or some shit. So yeah, I guess having him mirror is very, very helpful. But yeah, so those are the new books, and it's really, really good. And then the other new one that they added in the main book, which is obviously it just gives you more damage cap, give you extra HP, giving you extra attack. Sure, you know, this is kind of okay, right? It's not like you really, really need them. I feel the end of the day, the real game changer is just really the last three new books that you get, like this tree. This ones are just really fucking strong, you know. So that's one of the things that they added into the game that is really, really fucking good. So I guess if you want to see, like, here's an example. So here's an example that I use for every single one that I do now. So for the 5 HP ones, not 5 HP ones, the 5 barb dudes. So like these ones, right? Every single one of these, because of the new books, I can essentially just use my dark team for everything. I can just use this dark team, this said one, because I also unlocked this one. I can just use this team, and it'll just work. It'll just work no matter what. It's very, very nice. And then, because also, like, with the help of the new supplemental and the extra echo book that I'm also equipping. It technically helps me a lot in this 3 HP boss, whatever. So I'm also just using the Rune Slayer setup that I use for Akasha. It seems to work for every single element. It doesn't really matter. You know, I just used the same one. It didn't really change that much. I just added this two and call it a day. Because this two is actually just adding more power to PNS anyway. Because apparently, you know, PNS does give you more damage based on how many axes you equip, and it also applies on this two as well. And so happened the Arcarum weapon for Dark is also axe. Nicely enough, so it helps, right? So it's pretty handy, right? So that's why I'm using it. So it works. So that's why I think the new books is like one of the massive game changer that makes things so much easier in Sandbox if you want to farm Sandbox and shit. And the other big change they actually added in, I'm not sure why they took fucking forever for this, to be frankly honest with you. Like, they could have added this like long time ago, but they recently only added all this Edian stuff, like the Edians, the Veritas or whatever shit, like all this stuff, right? They added all of them together with this current Sandbox update, you know, along with like, you know, extra, you know, Evo lights or whatever if you haven't grabbed them yet, extra sunstone and shit. Yeah, they added all this stuff only now, but I'm like, why now though? They could have just added this like long time ago and shit. And they only give you like up to 10 monthly. It's pretty unfortunate though. I was thinking they is like a weekly kind of thing, but yeah, I'm not sure why is it just monthly 10 though, because I feel like you can actually get more than 10 if you're planning to rush on something. But yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of like the gist of like the new one. So yeah, my progress is just like one route each, and I haven't really done like the missions. As you can see, it's still pretty far behind, but I didn't really manage to play too much anyway. So anyways, let's just go look at the new weapons. So let's bring it back up. Okay, so they did introduce all these new weapons from the said new bosses, and you can only get them from like the defenders. By the defenders, I mean like you have to get like the bar full or whatever, those dudes, and then the so-called defender guys will come out, and those guys will drop like one type of the weapon, and then the actual boss itself will drop the other weapon, right? So that's essentially how you get those said weapons. Along with them, obviously you also get the AX weapons from like everywhere else, like the AES, the like Cortana, Albarions, Apollo's weapons. You know those dudes, right? Those dudes have they have already added AX skills into them, so it's nice. So like for example, I guess if you want like you definitely want AES to have some AX skills in them, because you know Fire Magna is fucking shit without it probably. So you definitely want to try to get some of that if you want to upgrade your Light Magna, and maybe even it'll probably work even with water, because water Albarions is still being used, and having AX onto them is also very, very helpful. Same goes for like, I think if you also want to get Naktaku or Nezha's spear, which is the one that you use for like 10 turns or some shit like that. Wait, let me show you. So that spear, I think a lot of people use that for like OTK stuff. This guy. This spear, where's the spear? Yeah, this one. You want the ancient one because this is the Magna one. Unless you want to use it for primal, then you get the other one. So yeah, you can actually get AX skills for this as well. So this is another one that's actually relatively good for if you're trying to aim for like AX skills on the said weapon. There's another one, obviously, it's also really good, which is Medusa as well, because Medusa's harp is actually being used for said Highlander / Kame grid, because it is pretty strong, especially for primal, because you know you do get quite a big addition of Magna attack onto the said grid, because if you're using primal, you're mostly using like primal shit, right? So, and then you have this one of them, have this equipped in one of your slots, and then you just get a massive boost to Magna attack, right? So it just balances it out a lot. So it just allows you to have like a much better modifier into your grid and shit. So if you do have AX skills on this, it's going to be really good as well. The other ones I don't think is too important, I would say. I feel like the really good ones is obviously just those few, like this four here. The light and dark one, I mean Cortana is kind of like whatever, to be honest. You know, Apollo's weapon is kind of decent-ish as well, because you know you get the bow, but I don't think you really need this when you have like chef swords, and maybe if you have what's that, the Metatron spear, for example. If you actually went with that route, that works already. I don't think you really need to go for this. This is mostly for if let's say for example in future where Magna actually have garrison, you know, because I don't think Magna has garrison yet. In that sense, then yeah, this is great. You know, this weapon is actually good when you actually do have that, but Magna doesn't have that yet, so there's no point for that. So yeah, usually for Apollo and Olivia, you kind of ignore when it comes to weapons. But yeah, so the real good ones is just only this four. So like if you want to get like proper AX skills, you aim for the Magna version of Medusa Harps. You want the Magna version of Alberons. I don't think you really need Alberons, the Primal one, because I don't think Primal really use Alberons to begin with. Maybe they do, like some niche ones they use. But I think the most important one, if you really want to get AX skills anyway, is you're mostly focused towards Magna regardless, because Magna is kind of like obviously the weaker one compared to Primal, right? When you go Primal, you don't really exactly need those, to be fair, so it's not that bad. So yeah, you want the spear for this one, you want the AES, obviously the XX thing, and then Alberons and the harp from here. Yeah, so these are the few ones that you probably want to get if you actually want to farm the sandbox for them. Yeah, so those are the few. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to look at the new weapons. I just want to point that out. I haven't really fully looked at all the weapons yet, so this is kind of like technically like a fresh take onto the said weapons, because I haven't actually really seen all of them yet. So far I actually got one, which is Garuda's dagger. I did kind of see it feels kind of whatever, but yeah, let's see them right now, because I actually haven't seen them yet. All right, so let's just go like according to this. All right, so let's start with fire. So fire has boost to attack based on how many swords are equipped. Boost to fire allies at multi-attack rate based on how high the HP is. Looks pretty meme so far. I mean, it's like, yeah, sure, but because you see, this only works, I would say, if you're Magna. Okay, this only works if you're Magna, because you have to remember, if you're Primal, you're mostly using Ixabas, you're mostly using Kubira's weapon, you're also using what's the dude's name, Reinhardt's weapon as well, and maybe Wilnas's weapon or shit like that, right? But yeah, this is only really good if you're using AES. Maybe having one of them is kind of nice, just slotting it in there, you know. Instead, it's like if you, let's say if you did, because usually, right, what I tend to do, I'm not sure like a lot of people really do this, but like they have like, I would use like 4 AES with 1 Shiva stick. And if you, because Shiva stick is quite a pain in the ass to farm, right? But if you do manage to get this sword, you can kind of use this sword instead of the Shiva stick. Or you could also just put both of them in there, because you do have like, you can get up to 6, I think, 6 swords, right? Because if you're using 4 AS plus this is another sword, so that's 5. And then you have there's one more. What's that one? The Seraphic weapon as well. Seraphic weapon is also a sword, the Michael sword. So you have up to 6. You can get up to 6, which is actually not bad already. You could probably get another sword in there somewhere, but yeah, it's actually somewhat okay. Yeah, it's somewhat okay to use this for Magna, but I don't think it doesn't sound really that great for Primal, to be frankly honest. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. Yeah, okay. I have a lot of weapons to go to look at, so this is gonna be a long ass video. So moving on, we're trying to go as fast as I can. So this one has multi-attack rate, sure. Based on how many spears are equipped. Supplemental fire ally CA damage based on how low their HP is. Alright, this looks like a fucking meme. Yeah, this looks pretty much like a massive meme to me. Because this is spears, and I don't think fire really equips a lot of spears unless you're... No, I don't think so. Doesn't look like you really focus on using spears for fire, even in Primal. Let alone Magna, I don't think you really use spears, no. I guess you kinda could actually use spears for Primal, but sounds like a meme though. And then you have like supplemental CA damage based on how low their HP is. So this is kind of like enmity supplemental CA damage. But why though? Usually you can't, if you want to make use of this, you mostly kind of want to use it for like OTK, right? So in other words, you want to have like max HP or whatever. So this is mostly, I would say, right, you mostly equip this if you're like, your OTK is kind of like on the weaker side. And you know, those people, I think there are still some people, some players out there that actually relies on Zoe to do their OTK setups, you know, for EX Plus or whatnot. Yeah, there's some people actually still do that, so I can't really fault them for that, because you know, they don't really have like a lot of good characters and they're not that strong. So if you're actually using that kind of shit, this might actually help you a lot, like this said weapon. But yeah, once again, keep in mind that these weapon sets, like all these weapons, are fucking rare. It takes quite a while to get them. Their drop rate is pretty ass, so whether or not you really want to get them is really entirely up to you. But I feel like you probably do get them eventually if you just, you know, do them once a day kind of thing. You just, yeah, just let the time will tell, right, whether or not you get them or not. So okay, all right, moving on. So this is Granny's fist and bow. You get shield, boost to attack. How many melee weapons are equipped? And you get so you get enmity on this as well. Fist, water fist. Yeah, this one might actually work for Magna again though. Yeah, it might actually work for Magna again because you're using Alberons for Magna. So this might actually work for Magna. And then, if I recall correctly, I think Alberon is also, they just gives you a lot of HP, so technically it's not that bad to actually be on low HP. Right? It's actually not that bad to go low HP because they do give a lot of HP. Yeah, because you do get this. So it's not that bad. And you do get quite a bit of extra damage because of this anyway, because I feel like, I think the problem with this is that for Magna, you only use like 3 these days, I think. I'm not sure. I don't really remember how much Magna usually uses these days for Alberons. Because I feel like you can kind of make do with 3 now. Because of, wasn't there like a new weapon that got released recently or some shit? I don't remember, but yeah. I'm not too sure about this, to be honest. You could potentially use the granny's fist with that. You could actually. This one is a little bit yikes though, because if you think about it, because your HP is so freaking high, right, it's in a way much harder for you to actually make use of this, because it'll only work like this kind of shit, right? It'll only work if your HP is much lower. It's a lot easier to get that shit in because your HP is much lower, right? So it's, in order for you to get like low percentage of HP, in order for you to make this, it's actually much easier, right? If your HP is like sitting at 70,000, right? In order for you to actually get like low HP, you need to at least like get hit by Paradise Lost or something, right? For example, in order for you to really make use of this. And plus, once again, if you're referring to Magna again, right, you do not have Garrison. That's one of the other issues. So staying at low HP can be very, very risky as well for Magna players, especially in like harder raids or whatnot. Unless you have like, you know, character like Wilnas and shit to like tank everything for you. You know, for example, okay? That's for fire. Water, you have other characters too for that. Yeah? Okay. So this seems kinda okay as well. I mean so far from what I see, the main Hank, it seems kinda whatever though. So this one is for bows, right? Okay, so for bows and this. Boost to water allies multi-attack rate based on how high the HP is. You know, I got a feeling because this should be applying to every single weapon for the rest of the weapon. So here's the thing. I really do not think that you really need multi-attack. Like, especially in a grid like this. I really do not think you really need a modifier like this in a weapon for any element. I really don't. Because we have so, like, especially if you really want to, like, you know, get good in a specific element, right? You want to go for, like, those really strong characters, right? And there's so many characters out there these days that really has, like, so much utility that provides you that kind of shit. So it doesn't really matter whether or not you have multi-attack or not. So say, perfect example for this is, let's say, you have Lancelot, Grand Lancelot. Do you need this shit for Lancelot? It doesn't matter, because Lancelot is only maxed out at double attack, and he can double strike. That's it. He cannot triple attack, nothing. So this doesn't do anything for him. You know? Same goes for, like, maybe some characters, they have, like, guaranteed double attack or some shit, right? And that's still fine already. It's not like you really have to, you know, guaranteed like triple attacks or some shit. Because a lot of times when it comes to like all this, right? Even if you try to consider this to like have like some sort of burst, for example, right? In your burst setup, for example, the characters that you pick are very likely to already have triple attacks. Take Water Zeta, for example. She already has triple attacks. And then you also have like Lucio. The Summer Lucio in the set, you know, in the set Water Burst setup. That guy already gives you guaranteed triple attack and lots of fucking echo. So why the fuck do you need this again? You know? So I can kind of see this maybe being used a little bit in Primal. Because Primal, you have Folia Bow, okay? You have Folia Bow, you have Fanbow as well if you so need it. You have also Columbus as well. Columbus is a bow. I'm not sure if you know what Columbus is. Columbus is the I've forgotten who's the fucker from, but I think it's from Light Chef Magna, Chef Malice or some shit. You get like a really fucking strong Ogi shit because you get like a supplemental Ogi from that one. So yeah, you have is a bow as well for that one, and then I think there's another. What's the other bow? Or is that the only bows they have for water? I actually don't remember. Wait, let me see. Is that the only one? Oh, chat is working again. Nani? Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah. That was the one I was trying to remember. Okay. So this was the one. So Dark Treasure is the garrison weapon for water. I remember there was one more. Yeah. So you actually... That's why I was thinking that this weapon looks somewhat usable. Because you are somewhat able to equip a lot of bows in Primal Grid. Yeah, so this is Columba, so you get extra this as well. So yeah, you also have this as well in bow, so it kind of helps as well for Columba. So you have this, you can kind of like use just one of this or something. This one's kind of like whatever. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference, because I think a lot of times when it comes to like bows, right, it's actually if you look at all this, right, because you see you have voltage, right, this one is only, this is the main difference is this is the lower modifier version of this, because this one is 2, that one's only 1, right? So the amount of damage you get out of this is slightly lower than this, so technically it's still somewhat okay to actually have one of this equipped. But like, that's why I was thinking, I was like, just now I was like, when I'm looking at this, it just feels like, do you really need this kind of shit though? Because it doesn't feel like you really need this kind of thing, because you have this already. This You have this already, and Folia's bow or Tai-Sai bow, you get like a fuckload attack. Look at this. This weapon, you get this and this. You get so much attack already out of this. And I think a lot of times people use only like 2 of these or some shit. And then you have like, also I think people equip like 2 bows or something. Sometimes you get like 3 bows, but I think that's like Magna or whatever. Magna Ogi or something. But yeah, you only equip like 2 bows. And then you also equip like 2 Dark Trashes or some shit. And that's pretty much it, right? So I really feel there's technically no reason for you to use this unless you really want this. But it feels like a meme, you know? So yeah, I don't think Water Primal really need this at all. It's kind of nice, but like, yeah, it's not really that needed, you know? Maybe it's like if you're only using like 1 bow or something, like 1 Folia bow, I guess this kind of helps. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Alright, moving forward. Let's go next. So next is Earth Bale's weapons. Okay, that's as. Alright, so how many axes are equipped? Supplemental earth damage, earth allies damage based on how high their HP is. Okay, this one is good. This one is actually something you probably want. This sounds really, really nice. Right? This sounds really nice. And because this is like just based on their damage, right? It's just based on their damage. Outright just based on the damage. And this is axes. And technically you can kind of use axes. So, you know, I'm kind of saying this might actually help for ground zero. I don't know. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. But yeah, you technically can kind of make do with some axes in both Magna / Primal. Technically, you can kind of do it, but I really don't know if you really want to do it though. I feel like you only get this weapon for this though, to be honest, but I don't exactly know how much this is yet, to be honest, so it's not really... I wouldn't really say it's important. Even if it's a significant number, right? I don't think it's too important. Yeah. So for the gun is trash. How many guns are equipped? Multi-attack rate based on... What? Why? What is this? Why? Enmity for multi-attack. Why? This looks like such a meme though. What the shit? I mean, guns. Guns. Guns for Earth. Is there really like a lot of weapons for guns though? I don't think so. I don't think Earth has a lot of really good guns, do they? Like what? Like what do they have? They don't really have a lot of good guns. They're pretty shit guns. Yeah, like fucking Vohumana gun. Yeah, Stratomizer. I don't remember who this is. Yeah, this is 30 Gold Moon weapon, Galleon's weapon. This is the Summer Ilnot, Summer Silva. Then you have AK. Yeah, gun seems kinda eh. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't think you need that though. Especially if you're really just, you know, going with like fucking Cayman shit. I don't think so. Feels kind of like a meme though. I mean, because a lot of times you want to use it with this as well, right? Like the second skill. But you look at the second skill, it's like... you know? It's like, at least this one is something, you know? And I feel like at least for axes, you can kind of make do with Primal as well at the same time. It's probably easier to get it with Magna, because I think there's more Magna with axes or some shit. But yeah. This one is a little bit more usable, I would say. This is definitely more usable. This one's just like... Yeah, because it's like, this just adds like voltage, right? You know? But like, at the same time, it's like, do really Earth need that though? I don't think they do. And because it's not like this really adds extra cap in any way, shape, or form, so like, why though? You know? So it feels... you know? No, it's like, even so, right? The 12 weapons law or whatever, is like, if you really want to put something in there, I would even think like even slotting the actual, you know, the usual, the very super common Arcarum weapon drop. I even think that's even better, because that adds quite a bit as well. And I really don't think that's really that bad to slot that kind of shit in there. Same goes for like even slotting like your level 20 skill level Baha weapon or some shit. You know, for example, I feel like those kind of shit is even more useful than like a weapon like this. You know what I mean? Like, I would put this, yeah. I would put this in my fucking Kioff slot, but not this one, though. This fucking thing looks like a goddamn meme. You know? Yeah. Alright, win. Okay, so for win... Alright, okay, so for this one I can kind of see it working, because Win has a lot of daggers, yeah? Win has a lot of daggers, but... Why, though? This again. Why? I can totally see this working for Win Primal. I can totally see it working. But like this... Do Win really need multi-attack rate? Look at Naru, for example. You have Naru, you have fucking Siete, you have fucking Neo. What the fuck do they need multi-attack rate for? You even have the likes of Korwa and shit. Like Summer Korwa, I mean. So why the hell do you want that shit for? Why? Why do you want this? It's like that. This one might work if only the second one is actually better. You know what I mean? You know, if it's like, if let's say for example, right? Let's say for example, if this is like the dagger stuff, but if let's say they had this, if they had this kind of shit for this weapon. That'd be fucking fantastic, though. This is actually possible to run. It's actually not too bad, too. You know? It's actually not bad. But why fucking multi-attack? Oh, God. Alright, so for this one, how many bows are equipped and then on low HP? I mean, yeah, I can kind of see how this works, because... I mean, you have Garuda bow, right? You have Garuda bow, so I don't think you really need that kind of shit. It can kind of work, yeah. I can totally see this working because of Garuda's bow, and or even the likes of what's the fucker's name? Morigna's weapon, right? I did farm that shit too, so I guess that can kind of work. And then because if you have like Garuda bow, Garuda's bow is like it's already giving you garrison and shit, isn't it? Right? Isn't it like garrison already? Yeah. So you already get... Yeah, so this is the one, right? Yeah, you already get garrison, right? So technically speaking, it's actually pretty good, though. Because you have garrison, right? It just means that this is actually a lot better. It actually could work. It actually could work. If you use this... with Indra's Age and what's the name? Unyas, was it? Yeah, the Morigna's weapon. If you use Unyas with this three combined, it's actually pretty good. It does look like it's actually somewhat usable. Yeah. This one actually has potential. Yeah. I mean, if I have this weapon now, I could probably try, but I'm not farming Sandbox now, am I? Like hell, why do I want to do that? Fuck me, dude. Holy shit! You're actually doing that, son. Okay, so this is nice. So cool. All right, so we have some potential for win as well. So I know for a fact that this is the only weapon I've gotten so far. So this is ass. All right, cool. All right, next is light. Oh yeah, I did see light already though, if I recall correctly. Interesting. You can you know what you can kind of use chef guns with this, right? That doesn't look top bad, to be honest. Skill level 20 chef guns. How would a calculation be actually? But you have no fucking HP at all now, do you? It actually doesn't sound that bad for Magna, is it? Yeah, because Magna you can actually use quite a few guns, to be honest. Yeah, Light Magna with this is actually not bad. Yeah, the problem is you have no HP though. Maybe you have to use like Baha Gun or something. Use Baha Gun. So you get extra gun and you get HP out of Baha weapon as well. I guess that might work. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you could try that. Yeah. Just go AX chef guns or something. I mean, if you think about it, it's a little bit more common than chef swords, though, right? I mean, if you're planning to farm for that. But I don't know. I mean, yes, it sounds like this has potential, though. I'm gonna hold it at that. It sounds like this actually has potential. All right, let's go the other one. Ah, so this is the one. Yeah, this is the one I actually saw it. Yeah. So you get supplemental and based on how many harps you're using. So I remember people were saying, like some of you were saying that people are ditching Horus weapons for this, right? But from what I heard, the supplemental you get out of this harp is actually lower than Horus's weapon. Oh, Horus is actually lower? Because if you think about it, right, in comparison with this two, right? With this two, the katana for Horus and this, right? I would still think it's much better to just stick with Horus's weapon though. Like if you just put it simply, right? Wouldn't getting this much better though? Because not only you can farm this so much easier, because the drop rates are actual like kind of like walk in the park technically, because it's kind of like the same as Magna 2, right? In comparison to this, where you're the farmers. Wait, which boss was it? So you only get that. But I don't think you can get it from the defender, right? So you can only get it from killing this boss. And this one, right? Because I remember the defender is dropping the other weapon. So that's like, I just find it like it's so much more efficient if you just go for Horus's weapon, because it's so much easier to get this, and technically speaking you do kind of get this, you do get more out of this as well, technically speaking. And this one is only like if you can like consistently farm like Sandbox very very easily, and I don't think a lot of people can really do that unless you're like super endgame or some shit. Bosses, yeah, that's what I remember. Because they split up between the defenders and the boss itself, yeah. So that's, I just find it like, it's just better off if you want to go for OTK, it's still just go, just might as well just farm for this. There's actually no reason for you to really just jump onto this. If you already manage to get this, I suggest you just take your own sweet time to get this done. I don't really think you really need to go out of your way to farm this shit. I don't think you do. There's really no reason for you to do that, because this is another problem. Unless you want to equip like 5 harps, 5 Nehan harps or something. This is kind of like a problem. I mean, there are like a few harps that you can kind of go with for light, but I feel like the most efficient one is just you just use fucking Nehan, what, Nehan's weapon or something? Or use this thing. Do you really want to use this with that though? Yeah, but it's like, why would you go out of your way to build a Magna Grid though? Right? That's my question. Why would you go out of your way, try your ass so hard to get this weapon that is so freaking rare that you can only get it from bosses itself, just so you can get like a Magna shit going? It doesn't make sense to me. You know? Because it's like if you're comparing the sheer difficulty in order for you to get between this and this, it's so much better if you just aim for Horus weapon altogether. Because this thing is so easy to get. I mean, yeah, if you put it that way, it's just much better to do that too, yeah. There's really no reason for you to do this, because technically, end of the day, right, you still want Chef Swords regardless. Because Chef Swords gives so much for Magna regardless. I would too. Yeah, I don't think you want it. It sounds great, but like, you know, you know, it's like, it feels just, okay, I mean, obviously I really do not know, like, because I don't know what is the actual, like, you know, calculations, like finalized numbers for like the said grade or whatever. right? For example, when you use this with the actual grid or whatever, for example. I do not know what's the finalized numbers and shit, but like, I don't see why would people actually just abandon horrors altogether just to go with this. To me, like, just on paper, right? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why do you want to try so hard to get this when technically horrors is so much easier to get and you don't really have to waste so much resources too? Yeah, like what Kel said earlier, is like they just want to get the clicks, huh? It's like are they that desperate for the YouTube clicks or something? Is that what it is? Well, I don't know. To me, end of the day, it's just better to just go for Horus's weapon though. But yeah, end of the day, I don't think you want to aim like I don't think you want to rush for this for Guild War regardless though. I don't think you would. There's really no reason for you to rush for this weapon at all. Yeah, you could potentially just use one Horus weapon and one harp as well. Yeah, you could. I mean, it's kind of interesting, I guess. But I think we're here too long. Gotta move on now. Alright, last two. What's this? Oh. PNS element. You get extra multi-attack. That has to be the most pointless thing ever. Yeah, if you're using PNS grid, right? I'm very certain you already have Fidel and Leech. They're already guaranteed double attack. What the fuck do you want this for? Why? Right? I'm very certain if you're using a PNS grid, you are guaranteed to probably already have, like very likely to already have both Leech and Fidel. Maybe 6 as well. 6? Why the fuck does 6 needs multi-attack, right? And then you have Fidel and Leech already confirming double attack. Why do you need this anymore? Cool weapon skin? Sure. How many staffs are equipped? Wait. This one looks a bit interesting for me. Yeah, it could work with water as well. But what I'm actually thinking, right? You could actually kind of use this for... you can actually use this for Magna OTK. Magna OTK, press conjunction, dude. Oh, man. I mean, yeah, I guess if you just use Majestas, it's actually not bad though, because it works really well. This synergizes very, very well with Majestas if you think about it, because you already have Garrison, and then you get extra supplemental enmity, and then you get extra raw staff voltage thingy. Because technically you mostly use between 2 to 3 anyway for Majestas, and then you can put 1 or 2 of these shit in there. No, I don't really think you can really use this in Magna Kango though. Yeah, I mean if you already have like the whole voltage thingy with PNS going, then yeah, you could, but because technically it's still a whole lot better to stick with PNS anyway. Let's be honest here. Like why would you want to change anyway? Because it's so much easier to just stick with PNS regardless. Because you get way more out of PNS more than that anyway. And it's much easier to even equip Axis as well for Dark. And you get this and this as well. So it's like, yeah. The only difference, well, that is farmable. Right? This is farmable. That is not. Well, technically, if you think about it, this is technically kind of farmable. You just have to farm in real life. And then you just pay a credit and then you get that, right? But yeah, this looks actually somewhat doable though. So if you think about it, out of all the weapons, this one looks okay. This one looks somewhat okay. Yeah. This one looks somewhat okay as well. Decent enough. And also you could also use this as well. This is also not too bad. Because, you know, you're also using what's that? Oops. Sword for light, right? So technically you can kind of use that besides AES as well, because it kind of works for AES as well. It works relatively well for AES, so it should work with chefs as well, chef swords as well. So that's kind of nice. I think this fist, you can kind of use this as well. The fist is actually not bad as well. You can kind of use the fist as well. The bow looks pretty ass, I think. Wait, no. The bow is actually okay as well. I feel like the bow, you can kind of use it as well, but you have Colomba though, so I'm not sure if you really want to use this versus Colomba. Because technically Colomba provides more in comparison to this. The only difference is that this one gives more voltage in comparison to Colomba. Yeah, you could probably use that for wind as well, yeah. But other than that, this Earth X is actually pretty okay as well. Yeah, the Earth axis seems pretty good. The gun, not so much, I think. Earth, not so much. This one's pretty cool. This one's alright. This one's maybe. Yeah, this one's maybe as well. And then the stick. X, not so much. But not too bad though. It's actually not bad. Like the weapons here provide quite a bit of like new stuff. But like to me, end of the day is like getting them is a huge problem. You know? Unless you're those guys that don't really give a shit about you know, using your gold bar or whatever. You can technically just gold bar this thing, just get extra stats. But technically speaking, you don't even really need to max this out. Because all these weapons are all max limit break anyway. Right? So they're all skill level 10 or some shit at most. So it's not like you really need to, you know, max limit break them. You're just getting more stats out of it. So having one is already not too bad. But yeah, it's not too bad. I kind of like seeing all this kind of shit. But like, I don't know, man. Farming them seems pretty ass. Farming them is pretty freaking ass though, because they're so freaking rare. I feel like the fuck, I actually need to see like which defenders are actually the one that actually drops the other ones. Because I don't have those defenders up right now. Yeah, you get a sword out of this, the boss as well, so yeah, it's pretty fucking hard. Oops. Yeah, the fist is from this as well. So like I see quite a few good ones, and like I see quite a few good ones are like from the boss itself though. You know? Okay, Bale looks pretty whatever though. Bale's drop seems kind of whatever. I guess it's just better you just farm the defenders for the third route. Yeah, then this one is just this one. The dagger is kind of whatever. So at least for win, you can kind of farm the normal defenders to get the bow, because I feel like the bow is probably still better anyway. Yeah. So there are quite a few things that you probably need to farm, like the actual boss itself, to get the thing like this. So this one is the defender. The defender. This one's the defender too, I think. Was it? Yeah. So there are quite a few that you can farm for the defenders. Same goes for this one too. So that's not too bad. Can't say I dislike this update, but end of the day, it's still still had to farm fucking Sandbox though. Do you really want to do that? Farming Sandbox, fuck me, dude. Like, do you really want to farm Sandbox for just this kind of shit though? So painful though. I guess end of the day, you just need to farm one, right? So I guess you could just try and do that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because this is just, I would say this is just mostly like theory crafting kind of thing. Speculation. Impressions / thoughts about the said new stuff on the Sandbox stuff. It is pretty promising in a way. But honestly, I'm just gonna leave it at that because I think this is already fucking long. Dude, I've been talking about this for an hour, okay? I've been here for an hour, and hope you guys enjoyed that 1 hour meme talk. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one whenever I feel like uploading, because I think the next video would be... I mean, technically it should be Lake Fest, but I'm probably gonna be very busy with Elden Ring, so when I feel like it, eh? Okay.